Did you know that you can beat diabetes and insulin resistance? That's right, these health conditions, often considered lifelong, can indeed be managed and in some cases even reversed. Now you might be wondering, how is this possible? Well, that's exactly what we will unpack in this video. We're going to delve into the world of diabetes and insulin resistance, shedding light on what these conditions truly mean. But we won't stop there. We will also explore how diet impacts these conditions and the role of carbohydrates in causing glucose spikes. Understanding insulin resistance is paramount here. You see, it's not just about the sugar you consume, but how your body processes it. This brings us to the importance of insulin, a hormone that plays a crucial role in regulating your blood sugar levels. Fascinatingly enough, even your morning cup of joe has a role to play. Yes, we're talking about the connection between coffee and insulin sensitivity. But don't worry, we won't leave you hanging with just the problems. We'll also provide you with strategies to reduce insulin levels and hacks to flatten your glucose curves. Early detection of diabetes is key, and we'll guide you on how to stay one step ahead. Finally, we will delve into the science behind diabetes reversal. Yes, you heard that right, reversal. So, are you ready to take control of your health? Let's dive in. First, it's crucial to understand what diabetes and insulin resistance are. Diabetes is a chronic condition that affects the body's ability to regulate blood sugar, or glucose, levels. When we consume food, our body breaks it down into glucose, which is then utilized by our cells for energy. Insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas, is responsible for facilitating this process. It acts like a key, unlocking the cells to allow glucose in. However, in some cases, the body either doesn't produce enough insulin or doesn't use it effectively. This leads to an accumulation of glucose in the bloodstream, resulting in high blood sugar levels, a hallmark of diabetes. There are two main types of diabetes. Type 1, where the body doesn't produce insulin, and Type 2, where the body becomes resistant to insulin. Insulin resistance is a condition where the body's cells become less responsive to insulin. This means that even though insulin is present, it struggles to unlock the cells and allow glucose in, leading to a buildup of glucose in the bloodstream. Over time, this can lead to Type 2 diabetes. The causes of diabetes and insulin resistance are multifaceted, including genetic factors, lifestyle choices, and certain medical conditions. However, one of the significant contributors is a poor diet, particularly one high in sugar and refined carbohydrates. With this understanding, we can now look at how diet impacts these conditions. Have you ever wondered how your diet could impact your diabetes or insulin resistance? And if so, you're absolutely on the right track. Numerous studies have established a strong correlation between diet and these health conditions. Consider carbohydrates, for instance. Carbs break down into glucose in your body, raising your blood sugar levels. For someone without diabetes, their body produces insulin to keep these sugar levels in check. However, with diabetes and insulin resistance, this process doesn't function as it should, leading to elevated blood sugar levels, a major contributor to the development and progression of diabetes. But here's the good news. By managing your carbohydrate intake, you can directly influence your glucose levels, and thus, manage your diabetes or insulin resistance more effectively. The power to alter the course of your health condition lies, quite literally, in your hands, or should we say, on your plate. This leads us to the next topic, insulin resistance. The term insulin resistance might sound complicated, but it's not as daunting as it seems. In the simplest terms, insulin resistance refers to the condition where the body's cells become less responsive to the hormone insulin. It's like knocking on a door that just won't open. Despite the presence of insulin, the cells refuse to allow glucose in, causing a buildup of sugar in the bloodstream. So, why is this a problem? Well, high blood sugar levels can lead to a host of health issues, including Type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even certain types of cancer. It's like having a party in your bloodstream that's gotten out of hand, and it's up to insulin to play the role of bouncer, regulating who gets in and who stays out. Now, you might be wondering, how does all of this tie in with diet? That's a great question. The food we eat, particularly carbohydrates, directly impacts our blood sugar levels. Imagine every carb you consume as a potential partygoer, seeking entry into the club of your cells. Some carbohydrates, like those found in whole grains and vegetables, are like the polite guests who gradually trickle in, causing a slow and steady rise in blood sugar. These are the types of carbs that our bouncer, insulin, can handle without breaking a sweat. However, other carbohydrates, like those found in processed foods and sugary drinks, are like a rowdy mob that rushes the door, causing a sudden spike in blood sugar. This puts a strain on insulin, eventually leading to insulin resistance. It's like our bouncer is overwhelmed and the doors to the cells start to close. Managing insulin resistance, therefore, involves making dietary choices that prevent these glucose spikes. It's about choosing the polite guests over the rowdy mob, opting for whole foods over processed ones, and understanding how different foods impact our blood sugar levels. Now let's talk about carbohydrates and glucose spikes. Carbohydrates, glucose spikes, sounds scientific, right? But it's simpler than you think. Carbohydrates are found in a lot of foods, from bread to pasta, fruits to vegetables, and even in sugary drinks. When we consume carbs, our bodies break them down into simple sugars, the most common of which is glucose. Now, glucose is our body's primary source of energy, but here's the catch. When we eat a lot of carbs, especially the refined or processed ones, our body gets flooded with glucose. This causes a spike in our blood sugar levels, a phenomenon we call a glucose spike, and if this happens too often, our bodies struggle to keep up. This can lead to insulin resistance, a condition where our cells stop responding properly to insulin, which in turn can lead to type 2 diabetes. So, how can we reduce insulin levels and improve insulin sensitivity? Reducing insulin levels might seem like a daunting task, but it's not impossible. Let's dive into some effective strategies that can help you do just that. First, diet modifications can make a significant impact. Focus on a balanced diet that includes plenty of vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. This is not about cutting out carbs entirely, but about choosing complex carbohydrates that take longer to break down and release glucose slowly into the bloodstream. This helps avoid those damaging spikes in blood sugar and insulin. Next, let's talk about physical activity. Regular exercise can increase insulin sensitivity, which means your body needs less insulin to process glucose. It doesn't have to be a marathon or a grueling gym session. Even a brisk walk or a dance class can make a difference. The key is consistency, so find an activity you love and stick to it. Now, lifestyle changes are a big part of the equation too. Stress management techniques like meditation or yoga can help regulate cortisol levels, a hormone that can interfere with insulin regulation if it's consistently high. Also, a good night's sleep is crucial. Lack of sleep can increase cortisol levels and negatively impact insulin sensitivity. And lastly, remember that everyone's body is unique. What works for one person may not work for another. It's important to monitor your blood sugar levels and work closely with your healthcare provider to find the best approach for you. By incorporating these strategies into your daily routine, you can start to see a difference in your insulin levels and overall health. It might take some time and patience, but the effort is worth it. After all, you're not just lowering insulin levels, you're improving your quality of life. Let's wrap up with some quick hacks to keep your glucose levels in check. Ready for some quick hacks to keep your glucose levels in check? Let's dive in. First off, be mindful of your carbohydrate intake. Carbs break down into glucose in your body, so keeping track of your carb consumption can help manage your glucose levels. But don't be too hard on yourself. You don't have to eliminate carbs completely. Just opt for complex carbs like whole grains, fruits, and veggies. They're digested more slowly, preventing sudden glucose spikes. Secondly, make regular exercise a part of your routine. Physical activity helps your muscles use up glucose, reducing your blood sugar levels. Whether it's a brisk walk, a yoga session, or a bike ride, find something you enjoy and stick with it. Last but not least, keep hydrated. Water aids in flushing out excess glucose from your bloodstream through urination. So, drink up. Remember, beating diabetes and insulin resistance is possible. It starts with understanding and taking small steps towards a healthier lifestyle.